Dear guests, I'm glad to meet you here in the homeland of Olancho, in Tatinsky district, which is famous for its beautiful nature and famous Yakut writers. My name is Naria and I'll be your guide. You are in the first open AU Cherkeur Museum. There are about 20 constructions of old wooden architecture that were brought from different places here, so it provides an excellent opportunity to learn about life of the Yakut people in the 18th, 19th centuries. The museum was opened by Soron Amalon, the Republic Sakha People's writer, hero of labor, in 1977. We are in front of Nikolaevsky Church, which was built in 1912 by Yakut masters. It wasn't destroyed in the Soviet times and was used as a store for grains. So you can see the original construction. I'd like to tell you a few words about an Archpriest Dmitrian Dmitrievich Popov. He made a great contribution in educating of the Yakut people here in Tata and became an active conductor of Christian spiritual culture and piety. Dmitrian Popov constantly traveled around the vast Botrusky district to attract the local pagan population to the Orthodox faith. During his trips, he chose gifted boys to study at the first home school for free, which was opened by him. He taught the law of God, Russian, arithmetics, singing and drawing, introduced Yakut grammar from his handwritten textbooks and visual aids. One of interesting exhibits of the museum is the portrait of Lev Tolstoy. It appeared thanks to the first Yakut doctor Prokopy Sokolnikov. He was born in 1865 in Tatinsky district. Being one of the best students of the Tomsky Medical University, he was sent to Moscow, where he graduated in 1898. When he was about to return to his homeland Yakutia, one of a political exiles introduced him to famous writer Lev Nikolaevich Tolstoy. He asked Sokolnikov to help exiled people, to Khobors, to get to Yakutia. He asked Sokolnikov to help exiled people, to Khobors, to get to Yakutia. After this meeting, a young doctor stayed in touch with Lev Tolstoy until his death. Then Prokopy Sokolnikov asked a well-known local artist Innokenty Sivtsev-Mateyko to paint the portrait of Lev Tolstoy. He painted two portraits and they were highly appreciated by art experts. One of his pictures is hanging in Yakutsk in Art Museum and the second here in Cherkeur Museum. But before it had been exhibited in Lev Tolstoy's personal museum for 65 years, and it was returned to Cherkeur Museum. If we go upstairs, we can admire the spectacular sights of the whole museum. This is the river Tata, which is sung in a lot of poems and songs. From here you see the old dwellings, called Balagan, Urasa and other exhibits. Let's go to the wooden chapel. It was built in the 19th century. These photos and exhibits show the spread of Christianity in Yakutia in the 17th century. You can feel how Christ with ancient features, pictures on the biblical theme, drawn in wooden boards, express the sacred atmosphere of a real chapel. It is known that our ancestors led a nomadic life. Looking for pastures, they moved from one place to another. According to the work of the academician ethnographer Middendorf, a horse was worshipped because the life of the Yakut people depended on cattle breeding. This tradition is preserved in the state emblem of the Republic of Sakha, with a picture of the ancient horse rider from rock carvings. The Sakha people brightly decorated horse clothes and saddles with ornaments, and here you see different kinds of saddles. The rich man can afford very complicated ornaments in his saddle. We are in front of the house Yurta, where the honorary academician and political exile Eduard Pikarsky had been living for 18 years. Let's come in and see the traditional interior of such houses at the end of the 19th century. This is a kind of fireplace so-called kamlyok, had its own advantages and disadvantages. First of all, people needed a lot of wood, and besides, it heated up only when it was burning. At the same time, it was a good ventilator and the lights for the whole house yurta. Pekarsky researched the Yakut language and compiled the first Yakut dictionary. It was a very important fundamental work for the Yakut people. This is the place where he put his letters and writings. We are in summer conical house Urasa. It is the biggest one because it consists of 3 hoops linked with a frame in a circle. Urasa was covered with birch bark, boiled in milk to make it soft and elastic. Pieces of bark were sewn with horsehair. The hole at the top of Urasa was used both as a chimney and a window. Here walls and the lower hoop are decorated with beautiful ornaments. Nowadays, Urasa is built for different ceremonies during national holidays in summer. Recently, the biggest new conical house Urasa has been built in Bayaga, not far from here. Under Boris Fedorovich Neustroyev guidance, our famous handicraftsman and spiritual leader. A lot of handicraftsmen and women from all over Yakutia took part in creating national decorations inside of Urasa. These are pictures of this magnificent Urasa. The more efficient and durable many-sided houses replaced traditional Urasa, and you can see the 6-sided summer house. It's explained by the fact that in old times every family lived separately far from each other, and a man had to build a house by himself without any assistance. In winter, the Yakut people lived in Balagan. It was a low rectangular structure with sloping walls of wooden logs supported by a frame of logs. The booth is covered with a sloping gable roof. Here you can see the interior of Balagan in old times. Today, Balagan is one of the most popular constructions for guests and tourists. Here you can see the old birch bark pais, silgaya and goblet chorons, hollowed out of birch tree, which were used for keeping milk-made food and drinking national drink kumis. The typical shape is a goblet with 1 or 3 legs. Choron is favorite and necessary subject in ritual ceremonies and holidays. The word choron comes from choroi chorot, which means to hold it up, to pull it out. Academician Middendorf, one of the first ethnographers of Siberia, wrote about the high skill of the Yakut craftsman. Whatever he carves, he has a special style in everything. In terms of smoothness, musicality of contours, and clarity of proportions, chorons can be compared with ancient vessels, and it was noted by Serashevsky in the 19th century. The researchers noted that in Yakut families there are many wooden cups katuya, of different sizes for food and personal use, for children and adults. They are hollowed out of birch or larch with the help of a special tool. Indeed, a large family could be fed from the biggest bowl kutah, which diameter is 1 meter. Katuya was made in different sizes for a general family. The most common bowls are with a curly neck. The contours of their shape are beautifully curved, and the smooth transition of the shoulder, insertion, and trim. Here you can see the copper of a sacred tree, Alukmas, great giant tree, the main symbol and the teaching of Ayi, which is the Yakut people traditional belief in deities. According to mythology, Ayi are the inhabitants of the upper world, the ancestors of the Saha people. It is believed that Ayi do not accept bloody sacrifices, and therefore they are presented with plant sacrifices and dairy products. According to the Ayi cosmogony, the world consists of 3 parts. The underworld, Al-Radaidu, where evil spirits above his live. The middle world, Ortodaidu, where people live. The upper world, Yuhadaidu, is the habitation of the supreme deities, not always good. The crown of a sacred tree, Al-Lukma, symbolizes the upper world, the trunk, and the middle world, the roots, and the underworld. This tree was sung about in the heroic epic Alanho, and people spoke their incantations Algus, sacrificed different objects to ask the goddess of the earth, Analachchin, to be kind to them. The Saha, who lived with many other peoples in their long history, knew and learned a lot. That is why Saha jewelers created such extraordinary, beautiful designs on their adornments and jewelry. Saha people paid much attention to women's clothing and adornments. Worshipping women, they dressed them up like divine deer. When a girl was born, bearing in mind she would one day fulfill her sacred maternal duty of prolonging the family, parents prepared her wedding clothes, adornments, and dowry when she was 6. They believed the more beautiful girl's adornments and decoration were, the happier life she would have. That is why Saha jewelers, but they put their entire soul and all their skills into their works. Many wonderful iron, copper, and silver adornments created by our ancestors were inherited with great care. The work of the Saha silversmiths has very deep roots. Having collected the ideas of the great and ancient tribes, their talent and skills, the Saha brought them to Yakutia, where this art achieved a higher level and flourished. It is very interesting to learn how the Yakut people prepare kumis, national drink, in a big unusual vessel, semir. At first they milked a mare, then the milk was settled and mixed with an equal amount of boiled water, cooled beforehand. Some ferment was added to make a strong infusion. The prepared mixture was poured into the vessel semir. The semir was made of the oxide which had been boiled in blood to color it black and make it waterproof. The prepared semir was oiled and decorated with beads of different colors, copper and silver pendants. A wood funnel cancale was put onto the top part of the semir with a whisk. A funnel and a whisk were richly decorated with carvings, copper and silver pendants. The whisk often had the shape of a horse's hoof. Kumis was often shaken with a whisk for 1.5 or 2 days. The prepared kumis with the semir were brought out into the center of special place to Sulga, where people gathered together and placed between tethering posts Serga. Then, tied to a cross beam placed between the posts. Attentive visitors will notice an unusual post with the carved head of horse and other figures. This so-called Serge was a post to which our ancient people tied their horses. According to the legend, the Serge came from the magic tree, Aye Alamai Sergemas, linking the upper, the middle, and the lower world together. Ancient people thought that the goddess of the earth, Analachchin, who lived there, could give them prosperity. That's why the Yakuts worship the Serge, and we have preserved this custom since that time. There were different kinds of Serge. More significant posts were called Toyon, main, Serges, and they were higher than others. The number of Serge near houses showed how many boys a family had. There were also Serge of Kiit, a bright many Serge that during burial, Serge for shamans, and others. Nowadays, Serges are set up for weddings or national holidays and other occasions. This is a yurt of Alanho. The heroic epic Alanho expresses the mythological ideas of our ancestors. Alanho is genetically close to the epic of the Turkic Mongolian people, being the earliest layer of the archaic epic art. The main theme is the fate of an epic tribe of Ayi Aymara, to which the Uranhai Saha, the ancient name of the Yakuts, belong. They fight against evil, the interrelations of the main heroes of a Yakut family, and the happy life in the land, granted to them by the good spirits. Alanho is the combination of the verse and prose insertions. So, the performance bore a syncretic character including musical and non-musical recitation, dramatization, and singing. The folk narrators Alan Khasus passed on the art of performance from one generation to another, and thanks to them we know about the life of our ancestors. Alan Kha was recognized as intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO. Nurgum Batur, the famous Alan Kha was written down and composed by Platon Alexeyevich Ayunsky, our countryman who was the Yakut Soviet literature founder, the first chairman of Yakutia Republic. The Cherkasky Museum, located in a wide open space with abundance of colorful flowers and green plants, has a very splendid view, particularly in summer. Many guests are eager to visit this museum, which is a beautiful monument to the Yakut people's culture, opening the vivid pages of our history from the depths of distant ages. Thank you for your attention.